Hello and welcome to Background Noise with me, Tom James Clark. This is my brand new podcast. It's available digitally on YouTube if you want to see my face, or you can listen wherever you get your podcast from, whether that's Spotify, Apple, and the rest of them. This is something I've wanted to do for a very long time. A space to chat properly about TV, life, pop culture, running, teaching, radio, lots of stuff, but literally everything. I sort of feel like sometimes when I do my YouTube channel, I have to rush things, and this is a bit different. It's not a normal YouTube video. It's just like a place that I can chat, and yeah, I think this is very exciting. It seems really weird to be even saying podcast because it's something I have actually wanted to do for a very long time. If you've watched my channel before, you'll know I love chatting about shows like Strictly, I'm a Celebrity, Traitors, Big Brother, all of it. And the channel has grown so much this year that this feels like a sort of natural step, like growing a bit of the community and a little space and platform to chat and, just be like the anchor of conversations, I guess. So today I'm going to talk about why I'm doing a podcast, how I've got into YouTube, and then we're going to get into some TD bits and like life updates, if you will. Make yourself comfy. This is episode 1 of Background Noise, and I'm really excited to get started. Even saying the words background noise is really strange to me because this idea to do a podcast came about 5 years ago, to be fair. I went to uni and joined a radio society where we were trying to make radio shows in a studio that didn't really work. Then I was able to make my own shows from home on something called Mixcloud, big up Mixcloud. And the idea for like a podcast radio show sort of came about. And I've always wanted to do something, but it's never really translated into an idea. I did some radio shows on Mixcloud. Sure, there'll be somewhere out there in the world. And I loved it. And I just loved like the presenting side of it. And at that time, I had a YouTube channel. But I never really thought to like merge the two. But I think in the last year, coming back in July to my YouTube channel, there has been a real like sense of community and a sense of growth to my channel. So yeah, stunning, lovely scenes. So I think it was the time to do a podcast. Like I thought about doing a podcast a while ago, and then I thought I don't really know if it'll work. But then I just suddenly thought, well, you can get a mic, you can do a YouTube video and post it as audio. That's a podcast. So here we are. It has been a very exciting journey. The word background noise, the two words background noise for a name for a podcast, came about probably about 2 years ago. I thought of bringing back a bit of the radio show, sort of music show. I think sometimes I feel that chatting's just not enough. We need some music, which is why personally I love radio. So the idea for a podcast radio show came about, and I thought, well, it could be background noise because a lot of people put on the radio, they put on music, and they are listening to it, but also it's a bit of background noise, and it's nice to hear someone's voice or like nice to hear music. So I think that's where I thought, oh, background noise, because it's in the background, it's noise. So I made artwork, I made everything. It was ready to go, I just never recorded it. And yeah, I think it came to me about a week ago, a week or two ago actually now. Why don't you do a podcast, a visual podcast where people can watch it like they do on your YouTube, or it might bring a new audience of people that just want to listen instead. So yeah, I think that's where the idea came from. I love podcasts. I love radio. I'm sure people will be aware of that already. But podcasts for me, I feel like I need to watch them. Like I like a visual podcast. Like I'll put it on the TV, I'll put it on my iPad, on my phone, whatever, or like reels on Instagram. So I guess I'm sort of doing something that I like to watch myself. So hopefully people out there will give me a little listen. But yeah, the whole process of putting this together has been really fun. Obviously, if you've ever watched my YouTube channel before, you'll know that I have like a little clip mic that I wear on my jumper or t-shirt, depending on what I'm wearing. But I thought it would be really fun to get a proper handheld microphone. So my little microphone is wedged within like the muff on my handheld microphone. So I feel like a presenter. I feel totally different to how I should feel. But this is really exciting. And yeah, I'm also just trying to hold it not too close to my face because I'm like slow. We don't want to hear it too noisy. But yeah, there's the sort of idea of the podcast. I love doing radio. I love listening to radio. Radio One has just got me into music and radio, and the past, I don't know, since about 2018 was when I really got into Radio One. I made friends from it, met people. It's been really special. So I think that part of me loves radio and podcast that it's now become. So it's a personal interest of mine, and doing a YouTube channel is something I love. I currently post strictly debriefs every week. It's sort of built now into live streams really, really recently in October and November. That's something new that I'm trying out. So yeah, there's a real sense of community on my YouTube channel at the moment. So I feel like doing this, I'm just really excited about. And yeah, how I got into YouTube was quite a long time ago. In about 2019, I decided that I was on a gap year. I'd finished doing college and education and studying, and I was done with it. Later in life, I'm now a teacher, but at the time, I was done with it, and I just wanted to work and earn money and just vibe. Not like a gap year, a gap year, a gap working year. In fact, I actually ended up having two of them. But I think in the second one, I sort of realized, right, I actually need to do something that isn't just going to work, going to the gym, running home. I need a little project. So I think at the time I called it like Project T, so cringe. And I bought a little camera. There was sort of like a vlogging camera as well. It was a camera that you could film on. It looked like a normal camera to anyone else. It arrived on Amazon, and then I decided to do a little vlog. I think I went somewhere where I'm from in Shropshire. There's like a big hill called the Wrekin, and I decided I'm going to go at the Wrekin. I'm going to do like a vlog. I might film a bit of Strictly, and this donut over here decided to record someone Strictly on the telly and try and do partner predictions and a reaction. And it was car crash YouTube video editing. Some of it then got blocked because you can't show lots of BBC programmes on YouTube. It has to be really short clips, which it wasn't. So then a lot of it got edited out, and it's still probably on my channel somewhere. So if you fancy a little look at that, feel free. But that made me want to vlog, so I started vlogging, and then I did videos at home. I think I was trying to do like wardrobe videos and like fashion. Me and my best friend Alice did one of those like best friend tags. Me and some friends did like a Secret Santa video as well. There was lots of like trying to do what other YouTubers do and things like that. And then I decided to do some Strictly videos, and they really took off. And I thought, oh, maybe this is like my niche. So yeah, over the last 2 or 3 years, I've just been purely Strictly videos. But this July, I decided, right, I'm coming back to my YouTube channel. I want to bring it back a bit early because I enjoy doing it, and then I'm here in November, like obsessed with it. Got about, I don't know, since July, like almost 250 new subscribers. Lots of people commenting regularly, so it's lovely to have like people that are here regularly. Hopefully, you're listening to the podcast as well. Big up as you are. So yeah, I think doing YouTube has been a journey. I think we're on like 787 subscribers the last time I looked. So if you've not heard of my YouTube channel, go and check it out. Tom James Clark, subscribe. But yeah, I feel like the doing YouTube has become like more of a hobby and more of an interest. It was something that I enjoyed doing, but I feel like it's a hobby now. Like I really enjoy doing it, and it's a bit of like a side hustle. Obviously, I'm a teacher. I love my job so much, and you do need to come home and switch off a lot. So doing like a little project with YouTube is good fun. So like launching my own new background noise podcast project is something that I'm really enjoying. Like it's so different to my normal work life. So it's nice to do different things outside of work. I feel like that in the last couple of months, like I've really found myself again, and that sounds like really, really cringe and so cliche. But I do feel like I've actually found a little bit more of the old Tom. Like I started running in May. Big up Jenny if you're watching this for getting me back into running. I started doing the park run. which I do every Saturday. At the minute, I've done 25 Saturdays in a row. I mean, looking at the camera now, wild. Um, so I feel like I've recently got hobbies back. Like running has really just made me feel like happier again and healthier. I've moved, so I don't live where I used to live anymore. So it means I live really, really close to where I work. So I walk, and I feel like the health benefits of that and the mental health benefits of that has been amazing. So YouTube is very much just slotted into my new routines of doing YouTube and running. Music and everything in between has been great. The running has just been so good. I feel like I always used to run, and then I had weekend jobs where I couldn't do the park run and it wasn't consistent. But now I literally get up every Saturday morning, I do a park run, and it goes well. I mean, I've got faster and faster. The first one back I did was like 30 minutes, and I've got it down to 23, 24. So we're vibing. We're really vibing. So yeah, I feel like doing this podcast, doing the YouTube, doing running is something that I've really got myself back into, and I've got the old Tom back, if you will. Um, yeah, that's the sort of like life updates part of this video that I wanted. Video podcast, come on, get with the program. Sort of the life updates podcast I wanted to do. I now teach reception, which I absolutely love. Obviously, I'm a primary school teacher, if you didn't know. And I teach reception now. I used to teach year 2, but I love it. At the minute, we're practicing for a Christmas nativity. In between so many learning opportunities that are amazing. And yeah, educating the next generation. Big up. Which some people probably think wild, like I do a YouTube channel, podcast, and then I'm also a teacher. I mean, where do I find the time should be a question within that. So if you're watching and you work with me, I am finding the time, I promise. But yeah, TD at the minute, by the way, let's just go on to that. What you'll find about this podcast is I will just talk and talk and talk a little bit more and just go off on massive, massive tangents. TD at the minute, I'm enjoying. I'm loving Strictly. It's just so fun, isn't it? There's just so many people that are good this year on Strictly, and it's a great show. And Saturday nights, I sit down, pour a little gin. I make notes for my YouTube Strictly videos, and I enjoy it. The season has come that I've put my Christmas tree up. I know it's now December when this podcast is airing, but this is currently November, and my Christmas tree is just to the side of me. And I put it up very early. It's actually been up a couple of weeks already. But yeah, it's good. It's fun. Loving I'm a Celebrity on the TV at the moment, and it's like the run up to Christmas now, so things are excited. I always had that panic before Christmas that I hadn't done Christmas shopping. A little bit of the problem, but we're okay. We move. We're all right. But yeah, TD wise, the world of TD is just good fun at the moment, and there is so much to talk about. So I think I will be talking a lot about TD on this podcast. Yeah, bring it on. I keep having little moments where I catch myself in the reflection of my TD just sat on my sofa, holding a microphone. Like, this is the kind of thing I watch people do, and to do it myself seems really strange and bit weird, bit wild, bit different. But yeah, this podcast is fun already. I'm enjoying myself. What is crazy and what is probably weird is when you deep a podcast, I'm sat in my living room on the sofa by myself, talking into a microphone with my phone like in the corner of the room with the camera pointing towards me, a back camera, which I normally wouldn't do on my YouTube channel. I would normally do front camera so I can see myself. And it's very strange. Like, it's really weird because no one is in here and I'm just chatting away. And if I was sat in an empty room by myself, I would not talk. Like, I don't often hear my own voice. I live by myself. Like, massive life update. This is the first time I've ever lived by myself. And what is kind of sad about, I don't want to deep this podcast, but what is kind of like a little bit sad about living by yourself is that you never hear your own voice. Like, I only ever hear my own voice if I'm recording. So this is kind of nice. Like, I'm feeling less lonely. Obviously, I don't spend a lot of time by myself, really. Um, but what's strange is clocking yourself in the reflection of the TV and thinking, you look incredibly sad. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's got to be done, hasn't it? It's got to be done indeed. Um, One thing that I've been doing a lot at the minute in my life is like reflecting. And someone recently said to me, you're really good at reflecting and stuff. And I thought, feel like I have sort of like grown in that aspect. Like, do you just get to your 20s and suddenly reflect and make things better and have good times? I don't know if that happens, but I've been reflecting on the success of my channel. Um, and I always start off the series of Strictly, and I've been doing it for 2 years, and now this is my third year doing it. I always reflect and think like, what was good, what can I change? So there's a lot on my YouTube channel that has changed, um, to make things better. And I think one of the best things about doing YouTube and doing this podcast is like the graphic designs of it all. I would say I'm not very good at things like that. Like graphic design does not come to me naturally. I open Adobe, whatever it's called. I couldn't even tell you what it's called on my iPad, and I go through it. I edit and stuff. So this year's been different. I've done different things, and at the end of it all, each week I do a Strictly debrief that at least, and this series definitely, some last year didn't always, but every debrief I posted, 1,000 people have watched. It has 1,000 views. And I sometimes think to myself, like, could you even imagine 1,000 people in front of you? I could not. I remember when I first started doing the YouTube, and I had like a bit of a thing where, I've only got 100 views. But then I thought, imagine 100 people in front of you. Like, obviously, I teach 30 children, and there's another adult in the room most times. So that's 31 people I'm speaking in front of, and that's fine. But they're like 4-year-olds, or they were 6-year-olds. But can you just imagine like 1,000 people in front of you? That's something that I try not to do too much. But it's good fun. And I've always loved like presenting and doing, little like hosting things like that. Probably tried to host, and I mean, throwback, big story time. When I was at primary school, and I think in the later years of primary school and in secondary school, DT lessons, which is really particular, but I think that was one of the lessons where you could do stuff practical and talk whilst you did your work, I guess. But I used to host little radio shows. I remember vividly, year 7, uh, in the design technology classroom, the woodwork classroom, whatever you want to call it. I was sat there with my friends. My friend Alice will probably remember this, and she might kill me for talking about this. We used to sit round like this wooden table, and there'd be like vices on there that we'd always mess around with. But I always had a pencil sharpener in my pencil case. Stay with me. And I decided one day to do a little radio show through the table. So I would put a little pencil sharpener in the middle of the table, which you guessed it was a microphone. And I would hold on to it, and I'd be like, "This is Tom, Radio Tom," or something like that. And I would sing a song to the table, or we'd all sing it. And then I'd be like, and that was Justin Bieber, Baby, on Radio Tom. Alice, what do you think of this? And I would like talk to the people on the table. I couldn't even tell you who else was there, but that's probably where my love for radio suddenly came years later. And now doing my own podcast, I just got a sudden. I've not thought about that in a long time. But I just got a sudden wave then of thinking, well, yeah, I used to little pencil sharpener, do a little video, little radio show. And then I feel like in primary school I used to do similar things. I swear, I don't know. I've got lots of memories running through my head. I've opened a can of worms in my brain, totally. But yeah, I feel like I do remember that very, very vividly. So that's something clearly that brought a love on of, here's where we've come a long way. I've now got a podcast about 10 years ago, over 10 years ago. Gosh, I'm old. I'm only 25, by the way. But about 10 years ago, I must have been doing, it was more than 10 years ago. I was started secondary school in 2011. 2011. Why do I say 2011? I've never said that before. 2011 I started, so that must have been like 2012. It's about 13, 14 years ago. I used to host a little Radio Tom show. Then I used to try and do like a weekly chart show on my friendship group chats, which my friends at the time probably thought, "What is this guy doing?" Um, I would send like songs I was enjoying weekly, but then the next week I'd change the order and be like, "This went up 2, and this went down 3, and this is a non-mover." Who did I think I was trying to do a chart show? Like, love you, Greg James. His book's in the corner of the shot if you're watching visually. Love you. Was clearly trying to come after your job quite a long time ago. Now just in my own little field, vibing away. But yeah, obviously doing a podcast was it been in the works for about 13, 14 years. Uh, Gosh. I don't know about you, and I don't know like the age range of people that will watch or listen to this crazy podcast. Um, don't you think like getting to 20s and thinking, I was in school like 5 years ago. And then you get to the point that I'm at now where I left secondary school 9 years ago. This academic year, 2015 September, I was starting uh, year 11. So when I finish in the summer for school, it'll be 10 years since I left secondary school. That seems absolutely wild to me. The concept of 10 years passing is crazy. Because, like, 2010, Cheryl Cole singing Fight for This Love on the X Factor was not that long ago. I am now an adult in my own home, doing a job, being a teacher, having a lot of responsibilities, and I feel like I was singing JLS in primary school the other week. Oh, that's another embarrassing story. When I was at primary school, we used to have a talent show. The school would have the talent show. Everyone, was there like someone from each class that would get sent to the talent show? It's getting Britain's Got Talent, Judges, Houses, X Factor Vibes, Boot Camp, the lot. You would hold like class auditions where people would decide to audition for said school talent show. I decided I wanted to, from a young age, I've had some confidence. I decided that I wanted to be in said talent show. I decided it was for me. I wanted to perform. Um, I wanted to be on the stage. What younger Tom didn't have was an actual plan for this talent show. I didn't feel like I had a talent. I wanted to be there. I wasn't a gymnast. Like, I didn't really want to tell jokes. I didn't, I don't know. There was lots of other stuff. I can't even think what else people did at primary school, like a performance maybe, like an acting thing. No, I decided I was going to sing JLS in front of my whole class. However, what I didn't really do was practice. And this is what has been a problem in most of my life. I didn't practice, and I stood up in front of my year 6 class, and I decided I would sing "The Club is Alive, the Club is Alive with the sound of music." I mean, that is ingrained in my head, possibly because I never practiced, and oh my goodness, getting the flashbacks. I decided I was going to stand up and sing "The Club is Alive" to my class in year 6 as a 10-year-old. Possibly could have been 9, depending on when my birthday was. Um, at the time, I thought it was a smart idea. It was brave. It was bold. I wanted to do it. And I don't remember practicing. I have vivid memories. My mum used to work at the primary school I went to. I remember pulling up in the car park, and I had the JLS CD on in the car, singing that song and thinking, I've got to sing this to my class today. This has got to be performed to the nation. What on earth was I thinking? I remember being stood up in the classroom performing that and not really knowing the words. So I'd have been there like, "The club is alive." And I remember just like, that was a moment where I thought, why did you do that to yourself? You know, why? Why? Oh, the trauma bond, the bond that I have with JLS. It is a trauma. Um, again, what's really fun about this podcast and talking is these stories are coming out of nowhere, and I thoroughly enjoy talking about it. And yeah, good old me. I think I need to go and listen to The Club is Alive now. In fact, I saw JLS, and I saw it with two of my greatest friends from, well, actually, one of them was from primary school. Um, and I wonder if she will remember. Oh, none of them were in my class. No one that I watched JLS with was in my class, so they probably wouldn't know. Um, but yeah, I'm sure someone out there from primary school will stumble across this podcast and they will remember me performing The Club is Alive in front of the class. And yeah, I think we've had it. I think that's been the highlight of the podcast so far. I definitely need to share that memory with more people. Um, I've always wanted to do music and I've always wanted to do presenting. So I feel like finally, 15 years later, we are getting somewhere and we're making it happen. So yeah, that's a fun story. I feel like every podcast now I need to think of a story from earlier life. Uh, it's good fun, isn't it? Um, yeah, the reflecting on it now, thinking, why did someone let me do that? Why did no one say, Tom, like you don't need to be in the talent show, like someone else? And I didn't get through, by the way. Obviously not. I remember there being a vote, and I remember being gutted I didn't get voted in. Um, but I think at the time I was actually kind of relieved because the audition went awfully. And I thought, I really don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And obviously, no one voted for me. But I possibly at the time I had a thing where people were going to vote for me, and I thought, what if they vote for me? And I had to perform that in front of the whole school. Everything was going through my mind. I couldn't tell you actually who got through. Who knows? Someone in that class got through. Um, yeah, congrats to that person. I'm still not over it. Well, I am over it. It's been a long time since then. Yeah. Can you tell now, listening? I don't know how far into this podcast, but can you tell now I love chatting, and that is something I was always told at primary school. Every single report and parents' evening was always like, Tom chats all the time. He talks a lot. So yeah, that's probably why. No one's going to be shocked about the podcast, though, are they? That's probably why. Anyway, that is it for episode 1 of Background Noise with me, Tom James Clark. Thank you so much for listening and being here for the very start of this new adventure. It has been so much fun. I thoroughly enjoyed chatting away. Car crash. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, leave a little like, drop a comment. It really helps the podcast grow. It'll be so great with you. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, feel free to follow the show. And maybe give it a rating if you've enjoyed it so far. I'll be back with more background noise weekly on my channel, where we will discuss lots of things from a range of TV, topical news, pop culture, that kind of thing, and just have a space to chat. If there's anything you would love to ask me or you would love me to talk about, do get in touch. I now have an Instagram account for my podcast. It's background noise _pod over on the socials, so go check it out. You can get in touch. There'll be little reels, there'll be behind the scenes content on there, quite a lot of things going on in the pod. And if you would love me to talk about something, or you would want to ask me a question, you want to hear a story, whatever, let me know. I would love this podcast to be very listener led, like people to get involved. And yeah, it's been great fun. I've really enjoyed this, and hopefully you will come back. Please do. Please feel free. And yeah, thank you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Something that I say on my YouTube channel is this, and all that's left to say is thanks for watching. Ciao for now. Goodbye, and I will definitely see you very soon. I am now going to listen to The Club is Alive by JLS. Goodbye.